The system we live in isn't really made of laws, banks, or governments. It's made of people, and people are made of light and shadow, virtues and flaws, kindness and greed. So it's no surprise that the system, over time, started to favor the shadow. It rewards ambition without conscience, control without empathy, and growth without meaning. But there's a deeper problem, one that the coming transition is supposed to address. And there's no softer name for it than this: a judgment day. Not the one in the sky with angels and trumpets, the one inside each of us. Lately, you may have felt it, a rising wave of predictions, prophecies, and forecasts. Armageddon, the harvest, a cleansing, ascension, timelines pointing to 2027. Scenarios where only 1 in 9 billion people will remain. We see doom, calendars, viral predictions, and specific dates like September 21st, when the Earth is supposed to tilt. The poles are meant to flip, tectonic plates will crack, and civilizations will fall. Most of it never happens. But the point was never about being accurate. The point is overload. This flood of apocalyptic information has one clear goal: to scare you, exhaust you, and paralyze you. It wants you to think to yourself, I can't influence anything anyway. I'll just give up and watch it all burn. That is the trap. Not because the world doesn't have real problems, it certainly does, but because your attention is being dragged away from the only real battlefield, your inner state. Fear wants you to focus on things outside of yourself, on global collapses, conspiracies, dates, and numbers. It wants your attention on anything, as long as you don't look at what's happening inside you. At the same time, courses appear, teachers emerge, and special programs are sold. How to survive the transition, how to move into the new earth, how to be chosen. Some of them might be sincere, but many are just capitalizing on panic. So let me offer you a different kind of course, right here, right now. This isn't a course in survival. It's a course in sanity. In this video, you're not going to be prepared for some mythical spaceship evacuation. You're going to be vaccinated against manipulation. We are going to dig through all the noise and search for the one thing that actually matters. What is really changing? What is this transition? Will there be a shift at all? And if there is, what is your role in it? Here is the first uncomfortable answer. The transition is not something that will happen in the future. It is already happening, right now, inside you. You may have noticed it. Old emotions are rising to the surface. Suppressed feelings, long-buried fears, shame, anger, grief. They don't stay buried anymore. The routines that used to numb you endless work, scrolling through social media, shopping, all the distractions, they don't work like they used to. You find yourself face to face with your own inner chaos. You can distract yourself for a little while, but not forever. And what really matters in this so-called end of times is not what happens to the planet, but how you respond to what happens inside you. Because that response is the real judgment, and it's already underway. So, if the real transition is happening inside, what exactly is changing? To understand this, we need to talk about something most apocalyptic prophecies never mention: your emotional state. Not your beliefs, not your ideology, not your social status, your state of consciousness. Imagine a vertical scale. At the very bottom, you have apathy, depression, fear, and grief. Above that, you find anger, rage, and pride. As you move higher, you reach calm and confidence, then acceptance and a willingness to change. Further up, you find wisdom and compassion. And at the very top, there's joy and enlightenment. And I don't mean the floating wave from the world kind of enlightenment. I mean the kind that lets you live fully in the world without creating suffering for yourself and others. The transition we hear so much about isn't about jumping to a new earth. It's about moving up this scale. Right here, right now. Every time you rise, even one step from apathy to just a little irritation, from anger to honest sadness, from pride to acceptance, you unlock more energy, more clarity, more intuition. You start to feel, this is my path, this is not. You begin to sense what is truly yours and what is just programming you've picked up along the way. The ancients hinted at this in their myths. The Egyptians believed that after death, the soul would stand before the gods at the gates of paradise and be asked two questions. The first, did you find joy in your life? The second, did your life bring joy to others? This isn't about how much you owned or what you achieved. It's about the kind of energy you radiated while you were alive. Now, imagine something radical. What if that afterlife judgment isn't some courtroom scene in the clouds? What if it's a continual process happening here and now, every day inside you? Every moment you choose understanding over hatred, courage over fear, or take one small, responsible step instead of sinking into apathy, you are passing your own verdict. And here's where it gets even more intense. When you move upward on that scale, it feels as if something begins to help you. You can call it guidance, intuition, angels, or higher intelligence. You feel supported. You notice unexpected synchronicities. The right people appear. You get these gentle nudges in the right direction, and life starts to flow. But when you move downward into resentment, blame, victimhood, and hatred, your inner compass goes blind. Your intuition shuts down, and it feels like something dark, both inside and around you, starts pulling you deeper into chaos. The battle between light and dark isn't a cosmic war in the sky. It's the tug-of-war over your state of consciousness. You can spend hours scrolling through news and predictions, feeling more and more anxious. Or you can ask yourself one simple question that hits harder than any prophecy. In what state do I live most of my day? Because that is your true judgment day, and it is already in session. Your choice every single moment determines the world you experience. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more. As this inner shift happens inside us, the world outside is shaking apart. Economies are cracking. Our planet is under enormous strain. Politics are breaking down into angry factions. And technology is moving so fast, our sense of right and wrong can't keep up. For decades, our entire system was built on a simple, powerful idea. Make more stuff. Make it break or go out of style quicker. And convince everyone they're not whole without buying the next new thing. We've been calling this growth, but really, we're just building mountains of trash. At the same time, a home has become so expensive that a normal family has to work nearly their entire lives just to afford a concrete box they're too busy to even live in. But is this because we don't have enough materials or land or skills? No, it's because scarcity is designed. Keeping people deprived is profitable. That constant feeling of never enough is what keeps the whole machine running. We're not building a world for humans to thrive. We're building a system to keep us in survival mode. So we burn out, we numb ourselves, we scroll endlessly to distract from the pain. But while all this is happening, something else is stirring. Artificial intelligence is no longer science fiction. It's here. Clean energy and even radical ideas like cold fusion are getting closer to reality. The old ways of handling money are starting to wobble. We are approaching the end of a major cycle economically, socially, and even psychologically. Some researchers, and even some mystics, believe that by the 2040s, this whole model of reality will be forced to reboot. But here's the most important part. The future isn't one single pre-written story. There was an interesting experiment described in an old book. A group of people were hypnotized and asked to see the future. About 30 of them saw 3 completely different worlds. One was a world of total chaos, environmental collapse, war, and destruction. Another was a world of incredible scientific discovery and social transformation for the better. And the third was a world that looked pretty much the same. A little worse here, a little better there, but nothing dramatic. So, which one is the true future? The real point isn't which vision is literally correct. The point is the pattern. The future is branching out into different possibilities. Think of it like servers in a giant network. Once you know how to run one version of reality, you can copy it, change the settings, and let different timelines play out. So which branch do you end up on? That doesn't just depend on governments or big corporations. It depends on the combined state of billions of individual minds. It depends on your mind, your inner state, how you feel. What you believe isn't just a private emotion. It's a broadcast. And when enough of those broadcasts come together, they create a collective field. So, when people say we're headed for the apocalypse, the better question is, which one? An apocalypse outside or an apocalypse inside? Is it total destruction or a radical transformation? Some spiritual traditions call this the harvest, not in a scary way, like some god sorting people out, but as the natural result of what we choose to grow within ourselves. If we plant seeds of numbness, greed, and fear, we'll harvest one kind of world. But if we plant seeds of responsibility, courage, empathy, and clarity, we'll harvest a completely different one. Both kinds of seeds are being planted right now by all of us. The choice of which ones to water is ours. Thanks for watching. And if this resonated, consider subscribing for more. So, where does all of this leave you? Predictions are shouting from every direction. Economies are shaking. Systems are cracking. Timelines are branching. But at the end of the day, the most important question isn't, will there be a global transition? The real question is, will there be a personal one? Because the system is made of people, and people are made of traits, beautiful and ugly, selfish and noble. Our civilization has been built in a way that amplifies the worst in us. A lust for power, an addiction to control, and greed disguised as efficiency. We're now at a point where there is no external solution without an internal audit. Call it the Last Judgment if you want. But this isn't some cosmic courtroom. It's a private, silent inventory in the very core of your soul. What happens when that inner audit begins? Some people will be pulled down by their own unresolved darkness, their hatred, their cruelty, their cynicism. They'll slide toward versions of the future filled with conflict and collapse. Others will just hover in the middle halfway, half asleep, repeating old patterns, slowly learning, but never truly changing. And then some will use this crisis as a catalyst. They will face their anger, their fear, their envy, their resentment, not as bad traits to feel guilty about, but as raw material to be transformed. They will ask themselves again and again, where am I avoiding responsibility? Where am I acting from fear instead of clarity? Where am I expecting the world to change, but refusing to change myself? And they will begin the slow, unglamorous work of becoming different on the inside. Sometimes this process starts with pain, a broken business, a health scare, a relationship collapsing, a nervous breakdown. Pain is often the only language we're willing to listen to. But you don't have to wait until your life is on fire. You can start the transition now, while there is still time, health, energy, and choice. And here is the final twist. It does unmatter whether a new temple gets built on some holy mountain, whether a savior or an antichrist appears on your screen, whether the news screams collapse or breakthrough. What matters is what you will feel, think, and choose in the middle of all that chaos. Your dominant state, be it fear or courage, apathy or engagement, hatred or compassion, is your personal transition. This is your real timeline jump. It's not a spaceship. It's not a secret portal. It's your own heart. Think about it. If you had a lot of time left on your clock, what would you do? Would you finally stop looking at the clock? Would you stop waiting for someday? If I had time, I wouldn't waste it. What about you? The transition isn't a date on a calendar. It's a decision you make again and again. In every single moment you remember, I am not here just to consume the future. I am here to create it from the inside out. If you're still here, watching my videos, I want to say something simple. Thank you. In a world of endless noise and distractions, the fact that you choose to spend your time here means more than you can imagine. It means you're one of those rare people who wants to go deeper, question reality, and look inside yourself. not just outside. I'm honestly happy that there are people who share these interests, these questions, this search for meaning. So if you feel this space resonates with you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who might need it. Your support helps this content reach more people who are also quietly searching. Thank you for being here, really.